Class 1. All right. Kevin, I'm going to start with you. We'll get to your son on your right. Okay. Kevin, great, another unofficial victory. You know, we'll celebrate out here tomorrow. And Justin did what you wanted him to do. You've been working hard at this for the last few months, making that big decision to go to Class 1, turn your beautiful trophy truck into a truggy, and name it Fuggy, which we got a nickname for it. And I know BF Goodrich has been keeping an eye on you after your big win at Imperial in Class 10. Justin, if you just tuned in, Justin won at Imperial Valley, just flat, almost lapped everybody out there. But Kevin, what do you think about your son's win here today?
Well, I would honestly would be lying if I didn't tell you that it was really an emotional deal, because this is his third. I had one, and he's had three, and so our family has 4 Baja 1000 wins in class. So for us, the Baja 1000 is really everything. And, you know, a lot of people gave me a hard time when I switched the trophy truck to a Class 1. And what they don't know is when you compete at the highest level, sometimes it's impossible because of budgets. And I really felt like we were competing at a level that Justin has the talent, but we don't have the sponsorship. And we're going out and we're taking water pistols to gunfights. And so it's really frustrating for me and the whole team. And what's happened over the last couple of years of racing trophy truck is we've become this doom and gloom club, not having fun. And everyone knows that, you know, off-road racing is a hobby. You can call it what you want, it's a hobby. It's where people go spend their money and enjoy themselves. And yes, there are some people that are blessed to make enough money at it, but most people, this is a hobby sport. And so for us, because we don't have the big sponsorship, we wanted to embrace the fun side again. And so we absolutely had a blast in our pre-run. All the preparation, everything spent was just unbelievably a good time. So to sum it up, I could care less what anybody thinks, because guess what? We're sitting here enjoying Baja 1000 win, and you know what? That would not have been possible in a trophy truck. Not because we lack talent, but we just do not have the financial backing to do it. So to go to Class 1, you know what? You still got to win. And Justin Matney, Ricky Johnson, these are all great drivers too. So, you know, Justin went up against some of the best drivers too, and improved himself again. So, you know, and I really feel blessed, and my family's really happy. And you know what? Like you said, tonight we celebrate.
Once again, let's give it up for Kevin Davis. You know, a little history on Kevin Davis, multi-time winner, like he said. He has won the Baja 1000 growing up at a young age. He was a motocross champion, and decided later on in his life at 18, 19 years old, he was one of the best. And should I continue to be a professional motocross, or should I become a professional businessman? And he took it on to business, and has one of the biggest landscaping companies in Southern California, and was able to do what he gets to do with his son. And as his son grew up, his son had the dream. He could have been a hockey star right now. He was playing hockey as a young age. And he decided, I want to race off-road racing. And his dad said, well, you know what? I'm going to make that dream come true. And here he is. Let's talk, Justin. You know, at 17 years old, you won Score Lights and Score Championship. At 18 years old, you won a Class 1 championship. You started 39th in Class 1 at that one race, at the Baja race, and you passed everybody in the race and won physically first overall. And here we are again in Class 1, another victory. What's it like, man?
Same as always. It doesn't happen often, and we've been blessed and won 3. So, I mean, it doesn't come often, like I said. So when it comes, you know, enjoy it while it lasts, because you may not get one for a while. But you know, we worked hard for this one. You know, we've been prepping this truck and all the chase trucks for 3 months now. So it's been a lot of work put into this. Ryan and Gary, somewhere around here, everybody's been in the shop working together, making everything happen. And this is what happens when it all comes together. So, you know, I couldn't thank my dad more enough. You know, he's paying the bills, and we get to go have fun. So it was 24 hours of pure adrenaline and lots of stuff going on. And you know, we were down 25 minutes, we were up 25 minutes, and then we finally finished La Paz after 25 hours. So it was a wild ride, but I'm glad we're here and I'm glad to get another victory.
You Kevin, let's talk about that. I know BF Gibbich would like to hear that. This young man let someone else drive the truck who never drove it before. So Scott, not having any time in that truck, did a great job, but not, Justin definitely knows the truck and he knows what he can do with it. And he came back from a little deficit in time. And Kevin, talk about that. I mean, it's incredible what he did after he jumped back in that truck.
Yeah, when he got in the truck, he looked at me and he said, Dad, we're 25 minutes behind. He said, what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to do what you do. I want you to go really fast, and I want you to save your truck. And we got, I don't even think 300 miles in, and he was leading. And, if you don't know the kid, he doesn't toot his own horn at all. Zero. He won't tell you he's great. He won't tell you any of that. I'll do it for you. He's pretty good. And the other thing is, him and the guy next to him do all the work, except there's a fab guy, Gary, who helps do all the welding fab. So those guys prep their whole truck. Show me another one out here that does what he does. He gets up in the morning and he goes to bed really late, and they work really, really, really hard on their trucks. And, the end result is, this win was earned, 100%. Earned, not given, earned. And we had so many problems that only because they're so good at what they do could they fix it while they were driving it. And that is the difference. And me, probably, too, because having me, I'm the one that put the oil in or would have blown up. No, anyway.
Well said, and talk about, Justin, like your dad said, you don't say much. You're real quiet. I've spent the last 3 or 4 years trying to get you to speak up a little more. And now, nice beard. It's kind of cool to see that big beard growing there. But I know, you and your dad sometimes, have got to have a little meeting and sit down and discuss things. And I know your dad, now you're learning a lot more about your dad, and you're learning, when my dad talks, he really knows what he's talking about. And I've known him for 40 years. So, I tell you, he's definitely knows what he's talking about. But I know, just like he said, I think this has paid off. You folks out there watching live right now, this young man, 21 years old, is basically the crew chief, the man that runs the shop. But he's kind of the crew chief, but he is in control of it at a young age. And like his dad said, most of these teams out here have shops that, tune these things up, build these things, prep them, and do all this. He does. This 2 guys right here have a group that will follow their direction and get them here where they are today. Justin, what do you think about that?
One thing you got to remember, without Ryan, the guy sitting next to Justin, because that's kind of his mentor. That guy helps Justin become better. And without that guy right there, this wouldn't have happened. 100%. So, Ryan, this was Ryan's first Baja win. This is the longest Ryan's ever rode in a truck. Notice the patches behind his ears. But and he did a phenomenal job. So, these guys work so hard, so hard.
All right. Let's, Justin, let's talk about what I just said and your dad and all that. What does that feel like to you? And we're going to let Ryan talk a little bit about his experience.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
Okay, Ryan, let's take the mic. I'm going to stretch it down there. Let's talk about your experience, like Kevin said, your first Baja win out here.
Yeah, well, it was really something special for me because I've never got to actually race in the Baja 1000. I've been down here and chased and worked for teams and helped them out and ran pits and everything. And to get the opportunity to actually be involved in the racing side of it was something very special to me. And thanks to the Davis family, I got to do that for my first time. And, I'll always remember them for that and this win. And this is something very special to all of us. I couldn't have asked for a better family to take me on as part of their team and let me ride with Justin and work with him and hang out with him. They're a great family, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here with my first Baja win. Hopefully I have more in the future, but I'll always remember this one the most.
Yeah, we're also missing another co-driver who rode the first 450 miles, Troy Holes, who's been riding with me since I was 14 years old, and he's been down here and speaks Spanish, and usually he's with me, but this time we put him with Scott since Scott didn't know the truck, and Troy's pretty good, and Troy knows the roads like the back of his hand. Sometimes it amazes me what he remembers, but no, he had to go home. He didn't make it all the way down, but you know, it wouldn't have happened. Like I said, it wouldn't happen with it. Everybody has to come together and has to work as a team, and there's 30 guys running around here that it all worked out, and they all did an awesome job. When I come in, changed tires, they didn't leave nothing loose, filled me with gas, and sent me on my way. So they did an awesome job, and Ryan and Gary and myself, we all worked really hard to get this truck ready, and it paid off.
You know, one thing too, George, I like to say, I hired a guy to come ride with me because, you know me, I'm not a mechanic. So I'm okay, but not that good. And a guy named Josh O'Neill used to work for me, came and rode with me. The guy got food poisoning the morning of the race. The guy was so sick. He was laying in my truck. He would just barf. And we would get to where Justin was, and he would jump out and he would work on it like crazy. And he'd jump back in the truck and barf. I mean, this went on for 24 hours. The poor guy's probably in the medical tent somewhere. I felt so bad, but that was the commitment to win. You know, and this morning we had a really close call with not being here. And if it wasn't for Josh, that call would have not been right. So to Josh O'Neill, thank you. He did a great, great job.
Once again, another thing I want to bring up, Kevin, I know you talk about it, and these BF Goodrich would like to hear this. Last year's 1,000, Kevin, it came so close to a top 5 finish, and that's another great race. And Justin drove his heart out, and 30 miles from the finish, they lost a motor. And like they said, nothing they did, nothing, you know, that they did, just a motor issue. And even when they pulled the motor out and checked it, it was something that has never really happened, you know, Kevin. And I know that was tough for you guys when that race happened, and talk about that a little bit.
Well, you know, every one of these Baja 1000s, when they come along, you give your heart and soul for them. And that was our first race with rearranged crews and everything, and it was kind of a real outside swing for us to do good. And we were actually, I think, in 4th or 5th with 30 miles to go, and the motor broke. And, you know, it was pretty heartbreaking. But, you know, I mean, one thing that Baja does to you, it builds character or you'll quit. So you're either going to be very enduring or you're going to leave. Because if you just think you can show up with your money and this will hand you a win, ain't going to happen. This is a lot more than that. And that's why I think so many racers embrace Baja, because it's just more than a race. It's just more than spending money. It's about a lifestyle, a commitment, you know, and there's just so many guys that do it. And there's a lot of guys that never get the credit of this. They get 3rds and 4ths their whole lives and never win. So, you know, I mean, to those guys, it's definitely a neat place.
Once again, let's give it up for Kevin Davis and Justin Davis and Ryan over here. Awesome job. Good job.